Today is day 3, and we are going to find out how to read a word problem and translate into a let statement. And using that let statement, we are going to write a equation. Okay, so we will most likely need 2 equations if we have 2 variables, or if it's just one variable, then we just need 1 equation. So let's do an example, number 1. It says, to purchase a fishing license, it costs $25 per year plus a one-time $5 fee for processing the application. Assign the variables and state the equation that describe this. So you always have to look at the unit and something per, something that is always a variable. So in this case, it's $25 per year. That's a variable. It changes every year, right? So we could say let X be the number of years and let Y be, it involves a unit of cost, right? It's asking, we need to figure out how much it is. Be the total cost, okay? So ROC means rate of change, the change rate that changes every time a variable changes. So in this case, it's $25, okay? And initial cost or initial fee, which is the y-intercept, is 5. So keep in mind, rate of change is always the slope, and initial one-time fee is the y-intercept. So now that we know, so y is equal to mx plus b, all we need to do is just plug in the numbers. So y is equal to 25x plus 5. And that is the equation for this statement. Okay, let's try another one. Example 5. A club charges each member $25 plus $2 per each exercise class. Assign variables and state the equation that describe this. So it looks like it involves money, right? Dollar sign. And it says per each exercise class, per, right? So therefore we have to say let X be the number. You must say the number of exercise classes, and let Y be the total cost. So we know that the rate of change, a slope, is $2 because it's per something. So it changes every time. Y-intercept, in this case, one-time fee, is $24. So therefore, y is equal to 2x plus 24. And that's my equation. Okay. Now, what about next one? So number 7, it says Tim wants air conditioning in his room. The air conditioner costs $45. Each day, the electricity costs $2. So we have to write the equation that describes the situation. So it looks like each day, right? Per day. So that is let X be each day, or we have to say number of days. And it involves money, the total cost. Let Y be the total cost. And so just by looking at it, one-time cost is $45. And then every day it changes, right? By $2. So slope must be 2. So therefore, y is equal to 2x plus 45. Now, but let's take a look at letter B. It says if Tim spent $85 to cool his room, how many days did he run the AC? So we're looking for, write down what we're looking for and what we're given. So we are given the cost. So y is 85. And the question is asking how many days, right? We said X be the number of days, so we're looking for X. So what we need to do, we got to plug in 85 into Y. 85 equals 2X plus 45. So I'm going to move 45 to the other side. So it's 85 minus 45 equals 2X. And then 85 minus 45 is 40 equals 2X. So therefore, X is equal to 20. So what does that mean? He ran the AC for 20 days. And that costed him $85. Okay. So it involves like a same pattern of word problems. So let's try something that contains a different variables. Okay. Let's take a look at number 12. Okay. So Hercules Fitness Club has 2 different rates for a kickboxing class. One for members and one for non-members. Okay, so it looks like we need a 2 equation. So let's see, for members of the fitness club, the yearly membership is $75 and the cost of each class is $10. For non-members, the club cost, each class is $25. So write down 2 equations for this relationship. Okay, same thing. Let X be, remember, if you don't see the word per, then it's like you have to identify what is it changing by every time. In this case, it's each class. So we have to say, let X be the number of classes and let Y be the total cost, right? It involves money. So we need to have 2 equations. One for members and one for non-members. For members, it looks like Y is equal to, so every time the rate of change, slope is $10, right? But there's one-time fee, y-intercept. One-time fee is $75. On the other hand, for non-members, there's no one-time fee. It's just that they just have to pay for each class a little bit more. So Y is equal to 25x, and then there's no one-time fee, so it's like plus 0. But we don't really like adding 0 because it's just, it doesn't give you anything when you add 0, so just omit it. So it will be 25x. Okay. Now let's try number 13. Okay. So students are planning a ski trip. They have a choice between 2 packages. Okay, so it looks like we need 2 equations here again. The first package costs $630 per student. Okay, I see the word per. And it includes 2 meals a day and accommodation for 9 days. Okay, so 2 meals a day and 9 days. Okay. Now the second package costs $720 per student. And this includes 3 meals a day and accommodation for 9 days. So write down the 2 equations for these relationship. Okay, so again, we are going to, in this case, it involves a lot of variable because I see per student, right? But we just have to assume that, let's say one student is going. I need to figure out how many number of days and how many number of meals, okay, for the price. Okay, so therefore, we have to say let X be the price per meal, for this one, per meal, and let Y be the price per accommodation. So for the first package, we know that it's going to cost $630, right? But that includes 2 meals, so it's 2x, plus 9 days, so 9y. So that is the price of the 9 days, and x is the price for the per meal, for 2 meals in this case. For the second package, it's going to cost $720, and it includes 3 meals, so 3x, plus 9y. And this is how you get the 2 different variables. So number 13 is a little bit of a challenge. So you have to figure out, depending on, just assuming that there's only one student. Okay. Now, so let's go over number 14. So Tammy wants to rent a movie from the video store. The membership fee is $15 per month plus $4 per movie. Okay, so assign the variables and state the description. Okay, so it looks like I have per month and per movie. So we could say let X be the number of month for this one. And we could say let y be the number of movies. And in this case, we also need to have another variable because it involves a cost. We need to figure out how much Tammy is going to pay for the total cost. So we could say let Z be the total cost. So this is also a unique one because it involves 3 variables. But most likely for linear relations, we will only be using 2 variables. So we could say the total cost, Z, is equal to $15 per month, so 15x, plus $4 per movie, so 4y. So this is the equation for the Tammy renting a movie by the number of month. So letter B, it says, if Tammy spent $135 at the store in 1 month, how many videos did she rent? So it looks like we're given the total cost, Z is $135, and we know that number of month, X, is 1 month, and it's asking how many videos, how many movies. So Y is equal to question mark. So let's plug in everything that we know. So 135 is equal to 15 times 1 plus 4y. So I'm going to move, so 15 times 1 is 15, move 15 to the other side. So 135 minus 15 equals 4y. And that gives me 120 equals 4y. And we're going to divide both sides by 4. So it cancels out. So therefore, y is equal to 30. So because it's a word problem, make sure you end with she rented 30 videos or 30 movies. And that's it. Okay, so this is how you approach a word problem. So make sure you always start with the let statement and then do the equation. Okay. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to look at the graph and be able to identify, what's a slope and what's a y-intercept. Okay, so let's see. So record the slope and use units to write it as a rate of change. So another word of rate of change is slope. Okay. So it is approximate, some of them, because it may not be exact. So let's take a look at number 1. It looks like the unit is depth per time. So meter per minute. Because slope is rise over run. So it's always the y value over the x value. That's the unit. So to find the slope, all you need to do is make a right angle triangle. So pick a 2-point that is very clear. So in this case, I will pick this point and I will pick this point. As long as it's any point on the line, it's okay. So after you pick 2 points, we are going to make a right angle triangle, connect them. So it goes down 1 and 2. So you have to choose a direction. So I'm going to start from here, okay, and then go to the second point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down 1 step. So it's down 1, -1, down, and then to the right. To the right is positive, right 2. So the slope is rise over run. So in this case, rise means we went down 1, and run is we went right 2 steps, -1/2. So what's the unit in this case? You can write it as -0.5 meter per minute, okay? So it's always y over x for the unit. Okay, so let's try the next one. So number 2, it looks like we have height versus the horizontal distance. So again, let's pick a 2 point that is on the line, that is very clear. So this is a very clear point, okay? And then I would say this point is very clear as well. And I'm going to make a triangle, right angle triangle like this. But keep in mind, you have to be careful with the unit, because each square, in this case, it's going by 10. Each square is 10. And in this case is also, it's going by 10. So I'm going to start from this point over here and then go to my second point. So from here, I'm going down 10 steps. 1 unit is 10 steps, so I'm going down 10 units. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to the right by 50 steps. So M is, slope is rise over run. In this case, I went down 10 steps and I went to the right by 50 steps. So if I reduce this, -10 divided by 50, I'm going to get -0.2, and the unit is meter per centimeter. Okay. So you will do same thing. So let's try something else. Let's try number 7. Okay. So number 7, it looks like it's cost dollar per number of items. Okay. So therefore, let's try, so I'm going to pick 2 points on the graph that is very clear. I'm going to say, okay, so it looks like I have a y-intercept here. And I have another clear point that is, it looks like the clear point is here. As long as it's any point on the line, it's okay. So therefore, I'm going to make a triangle. So this one is a little bit of a big one. Okay. Okay. Now, this time I'm going to start from here and then go to the second point. So let's see. So each unit is, it looks like it's just 1. Each square represents 1 unit. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I went to the right by 7 steps, so it's positive. And then this time I'm going up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that means I went up by 4. So slope in this case is rise over run. And rise is 4, positive 4, and run is 7. So if you do 4 divided by 7, you're going to get 0.57. Okay, it's a round on decimal, so I'll round to 2 decimal because it's cost. So it's $57 cents dollar per the number of item. Okay, so please don't forget the unit when you are doing the slope. Okay. Okay, so for this one, it's exactly the same thing. This is a practice one that you could try. So what you have to do is find the slope, and then for the second part, you are going to write down the equation. So let's try example 1. So we need to find the slope here. In this case, the 2 points are very clear. So I'm going to make a triangle connecting the 2 points. So I'm going to start from this point here. So it looks like 1 square is 1 unit. So I'm moving 10 steps to the right. So it's positive, 10 to the right. And I'm going up by 2 steps. It's going up, so it's 2. So slope is rise over run. So I went up by 2 steps, positive, and I went to the right by 10 steps, which is 1 over 5. Slope is 1 over 5. And if you have to write down the equation, remember this equation is y is equal to mx plus b. In this case, look at your y-intercept. It looks like my y-intercept is touching at -2, right? So therefore, let's put everything together. We have a slope, and we have a y-intercept at -2, so y is equal to 1 over 5x minus 2. Okay. Now, I want to try one more here. So in this case, for number 7, again, you could make a triangle at the both ends, or you could just pick 2 points that are on the graph. So I could technically choose this point and this point and make a right angle triangle as long as they are on the line. So I'm going to start from this point and go to the second point. So it looks like I'm going down by 5 steps. So I'm going down -5, and then I'm going to the right by 3 steps. So if I'm going to the right, it's +3. So slope is rise over run. Rise, I'm going down by 5, and run, I'm going to the right by 3. So slope is -5 over 3. And in this case, let's look at the y-intercept. It looks like my graph is on y-intercept equals 0. So therefore, y is equal to -5 over 3x, and then it's +0. But +0 is just invisible, so you don't have to write it. So therefore, the equation of this line is this. Okay.